traveling through airports this week, which means it is a logical time to share my thoughts on what I am dubbing the Southwest effect. Hey, this is Austin Bristow with Design for Discipline, and today I just want to share an observation that I've made that I think is probably a trend now based on different trips that I've had. And it's what I think of as the Southwest effect. Basically what I've realized is that obviously Southwest Airlines does things different in the way that they board airplanes. For those who haven't flown Southwest, on most airlines, when you buy your plane ticket, you end up telling the system, I want row 15 and the window seat. And when you show up, you get to sit in the window seat on row 15. But on Southwest Airlines, your seat assignment is not assigned. Basically, when you check in, you get a number from like 1 through 120, more or less. And when you show up, you just have to get in line. And when you get on the airplane, in that order, you get to pick whatever seat you want on the airplane. So what I've realized is that people, when they show up and have never flown on Southwest before, they stand there and they look totally dazed and confused. They're walking in circles in the gate and don't know how to get on the airplane or when or if they're allowed to get on the airplane. And there are two different perspectives as I've watched this. One is like the perspective of the spectator. So obviously in an airport anyway, people watching can be kind of entertaining. So watching people walk in circles can add to that. But the other perspective is that of the individual who has no idea when or if they can get on the airplane. And in that instance, you can tell they're kind of stressed and they don't know what's going on. So the challenge or the takeaway in thinking about the Southwest effect is twofold. One, if I'm the spectator and I know what's going on in a situation, I have every reason, or I should at least expect of myself, every opportunity to be taken to help somebody who clearly is dazed and confused. Like, there's no reason I shouldn't step up and say, hey, have you guys ever flown here before? Or with Southwest before? This is how it works. Don't worry, you're going to get on the plane. On the opposite end, if we're in a situation where we are the person who's dazed and confused, walking in circles, it's also not a bad thing to just ask for help. The few times that I've seen it happen, people literally just don't know what to do. They stand there and they're kind of frozen, and everybody else is already in line, and they're like defending their spot because they have B22, and if they see B23 on that person's ticket and they stand in front of them, you know they're going to tell them to go stand behind them, and there's going to be like a verbal rundown of the person who doesn't know what's going on. So that's the stuff we should try to avoid. So in conclusion, the Southwest effect is basically, again, one of two things. If you find yourself in a situation, and it doesn't have to be at the airport, where you know what's going on and somebody is lost, take the chance to reach out to them. And if you feel like you're lost in a situation, don't be afraid to ask for help, because there are plenty of people who know what's going on around you, more than likely, and that can help ease your anxieties so much in the situation that you're in. That's all I got for this week. I appreciate you checking in, and we will talk to you again soon.